What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning David Benavidez. Jai Opetaia. Get this. David Benavidez on a possible Jai Opetaia showdown. Let's make the fight happen. Jai Opetaia is a scary man, but there's something about that overarching fear that David Benavidez loves, okay? They have 25 pounds between them two, but David Benavidez is not too concerned about that. And this is what he had to say. He said, "Let's make this fight happen," Benavidez wrote on his social media account. His choices aren't the best, leading to Benavidez thinking outside the box. When Opetaia recently steamrolled his man, Benavidez cheered loudly. Moving up to the Cruiserweight division might feel a bit premature, but if a matchup with Opetaia can become a reality, Benavidez is all for making it happen. And let me counterpunch. I think that David Benavidez fighting Jai Opetaia is a very dangerous thing. But I think it's an equal pressuring situation for both men. Because you look at David Benavidez, you know, people want him to fight Benavidez or Bivol, or the winner of Benavidez, Bivol. You know, he's the WBC by email, right? So, you know, they're expecting more out of him. He's looking at the possibility of fighting Jai Opetaia. Jai Opetaia is 20 pounds heavier than him fighting style. But like Canelo Alvarez said, David Benavidez balloons up to like 20 pounds, right? So I don't think the weight would be too much of a difference, but the pressure is. Just like it's a pressure for Jai Opetaia to go to heavyweight, it's a pressure for him to go to cruiserweight. You know, 175 to 200 pounds or more. Yeah, that's big, you know. And keep in mind, David Benavidez ain't necessarily a beast or a monster, should I say that? Because I think he's a beast. I think he's very good. You know, I like his fights. You know, the Morel fight and the Volchnik fight. They were good fights. It's just they didn't deliver knockdowns. You see what I mean? They delivered his ability to box and be active and win fights. But he wasn't a monster like he was at 168 when he was just trampling over dudes. He was just slapping them around, knocking them down, beating them up. You know what I mean? He was the Mexican monster. Right. So I think that being said, I think him fighting Jai Opetaia is dangerous. Dangerous. Because Jai Opetaia is a guy that punches with mean intentions, and he's fast as well. So it's not the fact that he's this guy that has the style. Yeah, he's heavy-handed, but he's kind of slow and sluggish, and you know what I mean? No, that's not Jai Opetaia at all. Jai Opetaia is one of those guys that could hit you and hurt you, and David Benavidez hasn't felt any power like that. Hell, he ain't even felt the guys that have the power at 175 yet, let alone cruiserweight. Cruiserweight, to get hit by a cruiserweight is to get hit by a junior heavyweight. Okay, that's not who you want to get hit by, especially coming from 168 and 175. But I do take my hat off to David Benavidez to make that fight happen. The only question is, you know, will it ever happen? Can it happen? Because Jai Opetaia has been pressured to go to heavyweight. So it would have to happen before he left from cruiserweight. So I think that, you know, David, I think he needs to fight these guys first at 175, you know, just to see how he does, you know, unless he sees something in Jai Opetaia. And again, Jai Opetaia is one of those guys, he can get aggressive at times. So David might have saw something in Jai Opetaia, you know, contrast someone like Bivol that is very technically sound, and, you know, and he throws rapid fire punches, and he gives you a lot of pressure inside that ring. You don't want to deal with that. You may not want to. Versus Benavidez. Benavidez comes with the power and the pressure. And he's a better boxer than people give him credit for. He's just not as good as Bivol, boxing-wise. So maybe David's looking at that like, I don't know. But Jai Opetaia, yeah, he's in a different division. So It's already an accepted loss if you go to cruiserweight and you lose to Jai Opetaia because you ain't fought the top at 175. Then you go to cruiserweight to fight possibly the best cruiserweight in that division and you get beat. Then people are not, well, yeah, he tried, didn't he? The same thing Kell Brook did, the same thing Amir Khan did, the same thing that Terrence Crawford's trying to do at 168 against Canelo Alvarez. Same thing. So if they lose, it's like, oh my God, what happened? No, it's accepted. It's expected. But you guys tell me what you think of David Benavidez calling out Jai Opetaia for a fight at cruiserweight. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!